Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mamas in Miami. We're together. We're navigating parenthood with unwavering solidarity of each other and fierce, fierce love. If you are ever wondering if farm life exists in Miami, I'm about to prove to you that it is. We're going to invite my friend Cristy Fernandez, who has defied all odds and left the Miami city living and decided to start a farm down in Redlands with her family. So yes, it can be done. You still can have a farm in Miami. I see that she just joined our chat. I'm going to invite her in and we're going to get started because we have a lot of ground to cover. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hi, good and you?
Good. You're proof that you can have a farm in Miami for those
Yes,
that think it's not even possible.
I know. Neither did I a few years ago.
That is so funny. For all of you guys joining us for the very first time, this is Cristy Fernandez. Her and I go way back. How far, Cristy?
I was actually just telling my sister today, I'm like, do you remember that we met them, your whole family, on a cruise?
Yes.
And my little
Like what,
my
20
little
years
sister
ago?
was, yeah, it must have been probably more than 20 years ago because my little sister was like 4 or 5.
Crazy,
So,
right? I
yes, I know
hate
we've
that.
been in touch since.
I know. I hate that that's been happening more and more as I've been talking to people online. It's just proving our
I
age
know.
and how old we are.
Yep, yep,
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story with
of
us.
course.
Well, first of all, tell everybody how many children do you have?
So I have two girls, 12. I'm almost forgetting their age because I can't believe
Right.
they're so grown, but 12 and 8. Um, and my oldest, Callie, has always been into horses since she was little. She started riding. It's just something my husband loved and wanted to introduce her to. And then that passion and love has become our lifestyle, like our complete lifestyle.
When did you move out
We
south?
moved here in December of, we bought this house in October of 2001. So post pandemic, um, which changed so many people in so many ways. And for us, there was just this calling that we needed this kind of freedom for ourselves, for the kids. During the pandemic, we spent a lot of time in our farm in Georgia, which we love so much, but have never really taken the leap to move. So around that time, we were really looking to try to find some of that peace and space here so that my husband could stay here working. The girls didn't have to leave, their school. We didn't have to leave our family, but trying to find what we feel over there here. And that's how we ended up in the Redlands. So December 2021 is when we officially moved. We spent Christmas here.
That's crazy. I remember when I came across the pictures the other day that I hadn't like heard or seen from you like in so long, and all of a sudden you have all these animals in your backyard, and I saw a video of like a horse running around your
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
I was
they're
like, where
actually
did Christy move
they're
to? The
right in
last thing
front
I
of me
expected
now.
was Miami.
I know. Yeah. Yeah,
So
it all happened quick. We moved here, and then one horse became two, and one pig became three, and one dog became. So it's all happened rather quickly.
you board all of your animals in your backyard.
Except for one horse. So we have two horses here. I could show you shortly. I'll turn the camera. Can I do that here? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Um, so we started with one horse. Her name is Faith. Um, Last August. So a lot has happened in less than a year. Last August. And then I got a message on Instagram about a pig that needed a home. So we welcomed in our first pig, Truffle. And it is very addicting to have these animals because you feel so much, just again, it really just brings a sense of peace and simplicity into your life. So you kind of want more of it, even though it brings more work and
Sure.
everything that comes along with it. But then we got, what do we get then around in December? A lot of these, we only bought Faith all the other animals have been given to me through Instagram. Like, people have seen how much I love the animals, and the little pony, which I'll show you now, her name is Dixie, was also like a gift that somebody offered me because they saw like the kind of home we provide and how much I love our animals. So we got her, and then we got two other pigs, and then my daughter Callie, the one that's really into riding, she has a horse that we do board in here in Homestead locally. It's only about 10 minutes away, but we do board her even though I want her here. My husband and I always have those discussions. I'm like, I really want to bring the other horse here, but since she's like a working horse, we're still debating that. It might be a lot.
Well, if you want to go ahead and just
Let me
shoot
show you.
an image for everybody that's just joined. I'm sure they're dying to see what a farm behind your house looks like.
Yeah, we were out here working, so excuse me if I'm like sweaty and gross, but this is my, here, let me turn.
And I want to get into all of that. So there's her farm,
so,
guys.
This is little Dixie. Dixie, don't get so close, baby. Hold on, I'm trying. Okay, they follow me, so they're not going to give me space to. So that's Faith. She's a quarter horse. My daughter does. We ride her every day, which is part of owning these animals. You have to exercise them. This is Dixie. She's become more like the emotional support for Faith. Faith cannot be without her.
That's funny.
They are obsessed with each other. This is our little setup. My husband built this little barn here.
Right. It's
we extended that and we have like on the side of the house like a grazing area. So, but at least this is their home.
That's
we
adorable.
have like, you know, the fans, and we give them like good quality living here.
Well, so in Miami, you have to, right?
You have to, yeah. Well, I don't know if you have to, but I couldn't do it otherwise. So this is where we keep Dixie. And then around the corner, we have our little piggy house with the little pigs, and they have their little pools that the girls have not cleaned yet.
Hi, girls.
I asked them to have that cleaned. Say hi. Hi. It's Callie. River doing the things that get her stitches.
River, I saw you recently got stitches by sitting there. Are you okay? Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it was sitting. Good. It was sitting at the other farm because it's made out of metal. It's something like this, but made out of metal. But so she likes to jump over instead of. So this is Truffle. He was my first baby. He was supposed to be small, but I overfed him because I really love feeding them. It's very satisfying. But the more you feed them, the bigger they get. And then that's Pepper there, and then that's Pepper, and that's Dolly. And that's their little home, which also has a fan.
So sweet.
And hold on, how do I turn this around? Yeah.
And you also have two dogs.
And I have two dogs, which are inside barking their head off, but that was going to be too many variables to do this call with, because Bailey, the little puppy, they're both German Shepherds, but the puppy jumps into the pig pen and everything goes crazy and chaotic, and then they chase the horses. So for the sake of a decent live, I have them inside.
We have a lot of messages coming in saying you're living the dream and it's a beautiful space for your animals. I couldn't agree more. I have so many questions for you, Chris.
Tell me.
Okay, so let's start with, how much does it cost to have a farm in your backyard?
It's I should know this, right?
Right.
We should have a budget. No, the money we just bleed money.
Yeah.
You know, it's the cost of, I mean, listen, my husband's a contractor, so he built this, you know, at cost, which obviously there's like a big savings in that.
Sure.
Food, we buy it by the pallet, so I couldn't even tell you. I mean, horse food it's like maybe $40-50 a bag, but you go through it within like a week and a half.
Wow. Yeah.
Pig food is not expensive, and I actually give my pigs, I try to go to the flea market here. There's like a Mexican flea market on like 240 something, and I try to go Friday mornings, and I'll get potatoes and cabbages, and honestly the cheapest thing, they love like any kind of root vegetable. Heads of lettuce go a long way. Anything that's ever goes bad, fruits, and they get all our leftovers. As long as it's not meat, you can't feed the pigs any kind of like protein, but any vegetable, grain, they pretty much eat it all. Well, that's why truffle's so fat.
Right, right,
But
right.
so that's, that's obviously an expense, but nothing crazy. I feel like it's actually more expensive to board an animal. So I
Okay.
feel this is more cost effective because like my daughter's horse that we board, that's like 750 a month to, so that's like practically a mortgage payment
Wow.
for some. It's that's where it gets pricey when you board them. So having them here is more
Yeah,
economical, than
right.
boarding. And actually, where we board it's actually a very reasonable price compared to if you go up to like the Weston area, Wellington area. It's like double over there to board your horses.
Right. Right. And so what does a typical day look like in the Fernandez home? Because it must be a lot of work to take care of all these animals.
We divide and conquer, which
Okay.
is the reason we did this was because it does become like a family affair. We're all involved. We all play our role in different ways. Like let's say, dinner time, for instance, we have it really down packed where River will grab the pig bowls, clean them out. I'll be cutting all their food, I'll be preparing their meals. She'll bring the bowls in, I'll put the food, River will run out and feed them, clean the water. Callie usually takes care of the horses, just puts the feed in, and then right after we do the pigs, we'll do the dogs because our dogs also get mixed either food or meat or fish, or
Sure.
we always blend something in, so they're kind of like spoiled in that way too. So but we all kind of do it together. My husband helps a lot. He does a lot of the mornings. He's like an early riser, so he's up whether he wants to be or not, like at 5 in the morning at least. So a lot of the times he comes out in the morning and he makes it really easy on us because he'll feed the horses and he'll feed the pigs. So we just have to come out and do the dirty work. But at least I know they're fed, because their poop and all that can wait. But I don't like to keep them, like I don't like to get them off schedule with eating.
Yeah.
So he usually does that during when they were in school. It was different. So we definitely have like a different summer routine than when we're in school. When we're in school, I do the feeding most of the time because my husband takes them down to school because they're still in Miami. They go to Florida Christian. So we leave here. We start our day really early, like 6:20, and he'll usually take them. And that's when I'll start doing the animals and I'll muck the stalls and have everything perfect before like my gym, before I start my day. Now in the summer, we're, a little more easy with that, but he still feeds them early. And then I'll go to the gym, and around this time in this heat is where I get my second cardio session,
Sure.
usually with the girls, and we'll clean the stalls, just get garbage bags, put all the poop in the
Sure.
bags. It's not smelly, it's not gross. Honestly, both horses and pigs, I feel like, are a lot easier to clean and maintain than even a dog. I never knew that until we owned horses, but it's not a big deal. It's pretty easy, but I mean, it requires,
It's a full-time
it's
job.
it
Yeah.
yes, it takes work. In the beginning, I would be out here for like 2 hours, and I have a better method and I'm more efficient now. But my husband would be like, "How does it take you that long?" But I'd want everything to be perfect, and then I'd even like the sand that they're in. I would get a rake and make it all nice. And then I realized, okay, they don't need it. That's like my OCD thinking that these
Sure.
animals have to have everything super perfect. But
Yeah.
but I still, we have to, when the water bowls, for instance, you got to scrub those every day. You don't want them to get like with the
Sick.
algae or like gross. So, but we have it down packed now. So it's maybe like an hour if we all work together, and then
That's
in the
not bad at all.
evenings too. And then vacations obviously get more complicated. We're taking off on Tuesday for about a week and a half, and it's just a lot of planning, making sure all the food is ready, having somebody here. We have to just pay someone to basically live here. Um,
Yeah, that was going to
because
be my next question to you because I know that you and your family are very active and you guys
yeah,
travel a lot. And this is more than just a babysitter for a puppy. This
yeah,
is, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So my housekeeper, which, I'm very grateful. She's been with our family for years and years. She even worked with my mom and everything. So she's been here for the full ride of us moving over here. She came all the way over here with me, and she, she knows the routine. So she stays here. She does the morning routine. kind of hangs out, because I like them to be supervised. Like, I don't like the horses to be here all day. Even, I mean, when we leave for a few hours or like during school, it's fine. But like, I don't want, it's not like somebody comes in the morning, leaves, and then doesn't come back until the evening and leaves.
Of course.
I feel like all these animals kind of need supervision. My pigs are a little spoiled and they're used to being let out. So they're in that area for the majority of the day, but I give them 2-3 hours of free time most days.
Sure.
They're pretty like domesticated.
That's funny. Do you let the animals go inside your house?
The pigs sometimes, yeah, for fun, we'll let them in or they'll sneak in. The dogs, yes, they sleep there and they're inside, especially now in the summer, because I just feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
The horses haven't been in yet. They've gotten close, but no, the horses haven't gone all the way in. Although Faith will go into like our little terrace area and then we'll give her a carrot. So we want them to feel comfortable everywhere. And they all coexist.
Do the kids have a newfound respect for nature now that they're living a farm life instead of a city life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love it?
You love it? Do you love it more than when you lived inside actual Miami in your townhouse? You do?
Yeah.
Why do you love it, River?
Because I feel free.
You
That's
feel
a good
free?
answer. Yeah, they're like, I mean, our lifestyle here is very like just barefoot, like very simple. Yeah, well, I don't want to show the bottom of your feet. but it's very healthy. Like, they stay busy. This was our goal. I mean, we wanted this lifestyle, but we wanted to try as much as possible to keep them busy in a healthy way. We really try to reduce any like iPad, phone time, like when they have so much to do and they know that we all chose as a family to live this lifestyle, and this lifestyle requires work, and that's our priority. So there's no time for being on the phone or chatting or playing games until these responsibilities are done, because these are living beings, living souls that depend on us, and they love to be around us. That's what we've created, and it takes work. So that was our main goal, you know, to keep them just busy and like healthy things. And when their friends come, it's the same thing. You know, everyone's just so fascinated by the horses and the animals right in the backyard that they gravitate to wanting to be inside. So it's not like kids don't come and they're not on their iPads or
Sure.
even on TV or anything. Like, they're out here barefoot, running around, getting horseback, you know, jumping on the horse and feeding the pigs. And we usually involve them in the feeding and all that stuff. So
Right.
it's become pretty normal for us. But I understand, like, I think back and I'm like, wow, if I would have seen this some years ago, I'd be like, whoa, what's going on there? That's what Truffle. Oh yeah, Truffle loves to bury himself.
How do you still have your kids in school over on this end? How has the traffic been, if anybody's actually considering making the leap? It's one of those things that they're like, oh my God, I wish I could do it, but they're too scared to do it because of the distances. Have you, I mean, I'm sure you've adapted to traffic, but how bad is it to get back and forth? That's
all it is. It's just playing with traffic and the times. So we don't, when we lived down like in the Shenandoah area, it would take us, because they started Florida Christian when we were still down there, it would take us the exact amount of time as it takes us from here to Florida Christian.
Wow.
The only difference is we need to leave obviously earlier to avoid traffic. So the girls don't have to really be in school till 7:45. We leave here at 6:20. We found like the sweet spot of time. If we leave at 6:20, it's pretty smooth. We beat traffic. We're there by 7:10. So what does it take? It takes like about 40 minutes or less. About 40 minutes. And we have time to take them to Sergio's or Dong Bang, or like we get there and we get to wait, which is fine because we avoid traffic. Yeah, I could leave later, but then I'd be in bumper to bumper traffic, and I don't like to start my day stressed out like that. So we rather just wake up a little earlier. My husband has to work, you know, down that way anyway. So most of the time he'd be making that trip regardless. So it's pretty easy. And then coming back is about the same thing. It's actually been really nice because he just ends work earlier. He works for himself, so he has that ability, but he'll usually pick up the girls because he's passing, you know, he's getting on the turnpike anyways. So he'll just be on Bird, get the girls at 3, and we beat traffic that way too. Now, obviously, we avoid coming this way at 5 p.m. So, sometimes the girls have wanted to do extracurricular activities in school. That starts to become more challenging. And anyways, honestly, with all the horseback riding, I mean, Callie needs to ride 2 horses almost every day. Faith here, and then we go to the other place and she rides there. So she doesn't really have time for any other extracurriculars, especially since she wants to do this like professionally as a sport. But those are the only little things, if your kid is really active in school activities. There's still a lot of people that live here in Homestead and their kids get home at 7 o'clock and they're just in traffic. But we have created kind of a lifestyle where we do avoid that.
Sure.
I've never really, I think this week, because there was like a fatal accident on the turnpike on, I think it was Monday, was the first time. And I actually thought it, I'm like, wow, this is the first time in 2 years that I'm actually stuck on the turnpike.
Oh, wow.
The first time I ever experienced that.
Right.
So traffic is not bad. When we have people over, I don't invite for anyone to come over at 6 p.m. on a Friday because I don't want to put them through torture, things like that. So we just play around those times, but it hasn't really been any kind of like hindrance for anything.
Well, that's good. So would you say the biggest challenge your children have faced living the farm life is just the distance and that there's not enough hours in the day to do it all? Or would you find another challenge besides that they've encountered?
Any challenges? No? Any challenges that you could think of?
Probably
waking up super early, Callie said. Even though we're really quick in the morning, our whole family, we can really get up and going really fast. So we wake up, like they leave at 6:20, but we don't wake them up till 5:45. So it's not,
what time,
but yeah.
do they go to bed?
Oh, we are good with that. By 7:30,
Right.
8 o'clock, my kids are in bed. That's something we've always, been strict about. Because we want an early bedtime for them. I need my peace in the evening.
Sure.
So it works out. So they're used to they're brushing their teeth and getting into bed, and we say our prayers by 8 and that's it, lights out. So they still get, I do make sure that they get at least 9, sometimes even 10 hours of sleep.
Sure. Is there any thought of maybe you moving schools for the girls at some point closer, or homeschooling, considering that Callie wants to do this professionally?
No, I don't think I'd be prepared for homeschooling, the girls are really social and they thrive in school, both of them, both of their personalities. So I love their school. Wait, River, you're whispering and then you're distracting me. River wants to do homeschool because in her head, she thinks homeschool is like 3 hours of work and then the rest play.
Yes, and you get to wear your pajamas to school.
Yeah, that's why River, because she's very cómoda and that's why she wants homeschool. But no, I love Florida Christian, really happy. It's all the way until 12th grade. So we'd only leave that school if we would leave Miami, which would always still be, will never happen, they say. We love Georgia. I'd love more land. I'd love to have a bunch of stalls and be able to do the boarding myself for horses. We could always do that here.
Right.
But we'll see. But no, I love the school. We don't mind the drive to Miami. I wouldn't change that. And there's really nothing around here necessarily that calls my attention to
Do
make
you
that
have
change.
a nice community out there now? Have you built a community? Yes.
Yeah, it's really safe. It's so family oriented. There's different pockets just like anywhere in Miami, but where we're located, which is really close to, everyone knows the cinnamon roll, the cinnamon buns and like the Nosberry farms. We're right by there. So it's a really, really nice neighborhood. We walk the horses up and down the street. Everyone's really friendly. We have really great friends that live right behind us. They could ride horses on like the sidewalk. We go around a 3-block perimeter riding the horse and on the ATV. So yeah, we found it was just all meant to be where we are.
Where you are today.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really
Where
nice
do you
neighborhood.
foresee your farm life in 10 years?
10 years, definitely more land. Definitely. That's more like a 3 to 5 year plan. Definitely want more lands because I want more animals, but we're kind of maxed out here. My next animal would definitely be one of those Highland cows.
So cute.
I'm dying for one, but it wouldn't be fair because they need to graze. That's another thing when you mentioned expense.
Your
Resodding.
landscaping, how does that must be expensive.
And the resodding the grass. So we have like it's called like a paddock area. So it's an area where we'll put are the horses there now?
Yep.
Where we put the horses to graze. I'll just walk over anyways to get some air. I just realized I could have put like a filter to not look as
Oh,
it's greasy here.
fine.
I just saw this little thing. I haven't been doing lives in like years, so
We're entre familia here with the mom tribe, so it's all good.
um let me walk this way and show you what a paddock. So this is what we have to resod, and this does get pricey and they mess it up, as you will see. Let me turn this around again. There's River in her favorite position always. So this is like the paddock area. So this is where we give the horses like time to graze. So horses are typically like, if they're not riding or if they're not in a stall, they're always eating grass. They're like non-stop grass eaters. So we have to put them here for relatively short periods of time, or we would be resodding, which is a couple $1,000s every 3 months or so. So I have to put them in here like for maybe an hour or two. You see how they'll start like digging up, and then before you know it, this whole thing will become dirt, which it already was a couple months ago maybe. And then we resodded, so we're trying to see if this will last at least 6 months. So we have to be strategic. Like we'll leave them out here a couple of hours, then we'll like go back to like this, just our normal backyard. We'll let them graze in the front backyard. So we kind of try to like the front backyard, the front yard, and kind of just cycle them around so that they eat all the grass evenly and don't just eat all that grass. But then I also, again, she has a pretty big area there. I just like to give them space. I know what's it called? What I do to animals?
OCD. You give them like human.
I give them, there's a term for what I do. Like I give animals like human emotions. So I feel like they need space because I like space. And horses are fine in a stall, supposedly, but I don't like my horses to be stuck in a stall all day.
And Cristy, where did you educate yourself on all of this? Because being a Miami girl, it's not something we know instinctually.
Yeah. No, I still
have
don't.
like Instagram groups or websites that you relied on?
No, my daughter, Callie, she's been loving this since she was so little. She reads books. Whenever she is on the computer, these are the kind of things that she like researches and stuff. And again, it's been a lot of years. She's 12. She's been doing this since she was 3. And my husband has, we've made a lot of friends here. And he knows a lot through all his friends that have had more experience. We have, a handful of close friends that know a lot about horses. So we've learned a lot from them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't ride, like you said. I mean, I'm a Miami girl. My mom raised me to be scared of horses. To this day, I've tried it a few times and I personally don't feel too comfortable riding them. I don't want to hurt myself. I still have that fear that's been instilled in me since I was a kid, but I love the animal. So I'm more the one that does the nurturing and the feeding and the cleaning, like that aspect of it. And then my daughter and my husband are more, again, like just the riding and just knowing what to feed them and all the stuff. And then I kind of do.
Sounds like you guys have divided the responsibilities pretty evenly in terms of your likes and dislikes and what you know, what you don't know.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best family tradition that's come out of a family farm?
I mean, I think day-to-day life, I'd have to say that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Just the day-to-day lifestyle that this is. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely an everyday thing.
If anybody is considering it, would you do it again?
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Yeah, I mean, everything happens at the right time in people's lives. I can't imagine not having this now. Like this, it sounds cheesy, but like just saved me. Like it's given me a whole different perspective on like the priorities in my life, and I think it's just been so healthy for the direction of my daughter's lives. So Yeah, I
That's
love. Yeah, I
that's
wouldn't change this
so
for the world.
great. One more just random question. Heaven forbid there's a storm. What do you do with all the animals?
Yeah, that's a great
I
question.
want to
I
put
have
the pigs inside.
the
She
pigs.
never lets me.
It's so many variables to that. We do have our farm in Georgia. So if there would be a really big storm that looks like it's gonna hit, let's say Miami, like an Andrew type of thing, we would just we have a trailer now. We're gonna get a bigger trailer soon. We're actually gonna go look at them this weekend. So we would just get the horses
And go
and
the pigs in the
the
little pen.
pigs and the dogs
Put them in
and
the
go
car.
to our place in Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about Glory?
We'll figure all those details
Have
out.
you
When I'm-
had have you had a scare with a storm living at that house yet?
No.
Yes.
No, we haven't.
Yes. Faith with the legs in her.
No, a scare about a storm.
Oh no.
No.
Like a hurricane
No.
coming or something?
No, we haven't, because in the past 2 years there hasn't. The summers have been, fine.
Yeah, and let's knock on wood there.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of we have a big garage. So other things I've thought of, if it's like going to be a storm that's not going to be big, or we don't know exactly where it's going to go, I feel like I would just stick everyone in the garage. Like the pigs could be, yeah, I would stick the horses in the garage.
There's windows.
Girls,
The garage
I
is
bet you
safe.
didn't know this about the zoo here in Miami. When it was called the Metro Zoo, that's when Hurricane Andrew came. Do you guys know where they stuck all the flamingos at the Metro Zoo during
In the
Hurricane Andrew?
Alligator pen.
No, they stuck them all in the bathroom.
Oh my
And
god.
Look at that.
if you
Yeah.
go to the bathroom, the very first bathroom when you get to the zoo today, there's a big picture of all the flamingos inside
Oh my God, that is
the
so
bathroom at the
cool.
zoo, and that's where they spent Hurricane Andrew, in the bathroom.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to use your resources.
Yeah.
That's why I'll pick a bathroom or a room, put the 3 pigs. The dogs are with us, easy. And then the 2 horses, I would put them in the garage
Wow.
with some shavings, and I don't care. They poop, we pick it up, we figure that part out. And then the horse that's in over there, we would probably bring her over here too, just so I can have peace of mind.
The barn is made of metal.
Wow, that's crazy. I hope that it doesn't come to that this summer.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood for you.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
anybody else that, you know,
Yeah,
wants
it would just be a mission,
Yeah.
but it's not like, I mean, we'd figure it out. Like, I wouldn't be worried about it. We would just have to plan and execute. And
Well, girls and Cristy, thank you so much for opening your doors and showing us a little piece of your world. This has been
you're
amazing.
welcome. This was
And I
fun.
hope you guys will come back. I wish you guys well in your future horse competition. I think I saw that there's one coming up, right?
She's starting a new series. She does sorting, like cow sorting. So she just competed in like a world champion in Texas for one division. But now there's a different division that starts now in the summer. So she's kind of going everywhere just to practice as much as possible. So yeah, we're driving up tomorrow to like the Ocala area. The competition's on Friday. And then it's like every month until September or something.
Please
So,
keep us posted.
I
That
sure will.
I can't wait to see. And you know what I would love to see one day, girls? I saw and heard that you guys make peppermint snacks for your horses.
Yes.
Yeah? Do they love it?
Yes.
They do. She loves cooking them. She wants to bake them every single day. Her little Callie does a lot of little like jobs like that, like washing horses. She goes around Homestead to a few places and bathes them and grooms them, and she tries to sell her treats because she's saving up for all the expenses. And yeah, the first thing she's saving up for is a special saddle. She has one, but it's a different saddle.
It's cow sorting.
A cow sorting saddle. So she's saving up for that and doing her little jobs. So
I love it. Well, Fernandez ladies, thank you so much for
thank you for
sharing
having
your
us.
story with us. We cannot wait to hear more stories to come in the future. Right now, I'm going to extinguish our little tribal fire that we always do virtually at the end of our tribal meetings, because as you know, it takes a village to raise these kiddos, and we think that you guys are doing an amazing job with your girls.
Thank you, Cristy.
So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If you liked your story today, please like, share, and follow. Next week, we are going to be hearing from my dear friend Yvonne Barroso, who has Mateo, her son, with a very special story, and he's just a living miracle, and we cannot wait to hear it. So everybody, may your coffee stay strong and your sanity's intact. Thank you all for coming today.
Thanks, Cristy.
Bye.
Awesome. Bye. Take care.